Hey, it's Pam from Ben McFuzzyLugs back with another live stream. So, if you're catching this up on the replay, I'll just explain what we're going to do so you're not having to hang around for too long. I'm just going to start off with doing my review of the EtsyRank, the Etsy new keyword tool that they've just brought out, the announcement they've given us. And then once I've done that, while I'm doing my review of last week and my update of what we're going to be doing next week, I'm going to be using the Aclaine fibres that I got last week. We're going to be felting together, hopefully, and I am going to attempt to make something hopefully special out of the fibres. My theory is, as you'll see in the title below, it should hopefully be a needle felted Pikachu that I would like to use as a beauty blender, because that's what the experts say it's supposed to be used as. So I'll be getting onto that, and while I'm doing that, I'll be, chat's open. You can have a wee talk to me, say hello, ask any questions if you want. While I'm doing this first bit on the EtsyRank, I won't actually be able to see any questions, but I'll be able to catch them up when I come back to this screen. So just going to get started with this. I just want to show you a letter that EtsyRank sent out, and we'll have a look at their tool in a minute, but it's all really interesting stuff, or I hope you find it really interesting. I did. So EtsyRank just sent out a letter telling everyone that we can now see they've added some really good features to our keywords, so we can find out what buyers are searching from on Etsy. So what their letter says is, I just wanted to let all EtsyRank users know they can now see what keywords are most likely to be searched by buyers on Etsy. Take a look at the latest updates to the keyword tool when time permits at EtsyRank. And I've put a link in the description below if you want to go there once you've finished watching me, of course. As most of you know, Etsy doesn't actually share the most popular search term list with the public. So if you've been struggling to find the most popular keyword terms, you'll find the demand score is really interesting. EtsyRank now estimates how often the keywords are likely to be searched for and gives them a demand score, a very high demand being the best likely top 1% of the search terms. This was made possible by the good people at Bing, so thanks for all of that. The other updates is the EtsyRank now scores engagement as a simple measure that scores how likely viewers are to buy something that they view based on the search for the keyword. As always, I strongly encourage you to check out the changes and appreciate any feedback, suggestions or questions. So that was a mail I just got the other day from the people at EtsyRank, and I think that's a really exciting mail for us all. So obviously straight away I headed over to their keyword tool, which I just popping up here. So as you can see on my screen, we have the EtsyRank keyword tool, and I've just gone in on EtsyRank. I've just popped into the keyword tool area, and all you have to do, type in a keyword that you're thinking you want to rank for, something that seems interesting or relevant to your shop. So I tried needle felted dog as the keyword because that's something I've always been aiming for, and when you hit look up, it takes a couple of seconds, takes a wee minute to find all the results, so be patient. That's why I've pulled it up already. I'm not making us watch it. And the first thing it does here is it brings up this word cloud of all different related tags, which is so useful if you're running out of ideas for tags. And we've got the explanations of the new things that they're showing us with this. So we've got on the right, firstly it says the competition. It's using color coded to let you know how competitive the tag is. So very high, you're saying there's more than 20,000 listings, or very low, there's 1,000 or less listings. So this is important for you to know how many people you're up against. And then we've got the demand, really interesting. This is how many people are actually searching for certain keywords. So, very high means there's top 1% of keywords. This is being searched by quite a lot of people. and all the way down to very low. Again, that's the bottom 20%. And this doesn't always mean you don't necessarily always want very high for everything. You want things that you can rank in, so it's finding a balance, as I'll explain in other videos, but it's just really useful to know where you are. And engagement, again, is fantastically important. As you can see, engagement, it's how likely someone using them tags when they see something, when they see an item with those tags, are to buy it. So it's a kind of a really specific term. It's telling you, you know, this is a kind of good tag to have. Because if you've got something like, if you just use a generic tag like ring, then people are far less likely to actually want to be involved with that. They're less likely to be interested in that. Whereas, you know, if they search something specific, I don't know, a cat ring. Do you get rings for cats? But no, a ring that's made out of a cat, you know, a cat lover's ring or something like that, then they're more likely, because that's more specific, it's more likely to give them something that they want to see. So that gives you a kind of idea there. So looking at my needle felted dog tag, I've got the whole load of things in the word cloud, which is so interesting, of things that I can use. And if we look, there's 4,000 listings found with that tag, which is putting us in medium competition, which if we look up to the right, that is exactly where it should be. And then it gives you some other statistics. The top listings with these tags, well, your 4,000 listings with these tags have an average of 78 hearts. They have an average of nearly 500 views each, and they have an average of $57. So that gives you an idea of what averages, what people are thinking is normal for when they're searching for a tag like this. So it's kind of important maybe to think of that if you're having a really high-end expensive item, then maybe a tag that people are searching for cheap items on, that might be important to think about that, and maybe go for a different tag. Maybe like a dog sculpture would be in a higher end rating rather than needle felted dog. But I'm doing good. I'm smack bang in the middle of that, so I'm happy. So we're saying it's medium competition. There's medium demand. So again, that's pretty good. And there's high engagement. So it doesn't have the most amount, excuse me. So these tags don't have the most amount of people searching for them, but I'm not up against the most amount of people. And it's a high engagement in that when people find you on those tags, they're more likely to buy. So if something's not too high competition with a really high engagement, I'd say that's got to be a pretty good tag to be aiming for. So it's a good chance you get seen, and when you get seen, it's a good chance you sell. And then we've got a whole load of other tags here, which is fantastic, related to that tag. So it gives you ideas, it shows you the competition with it, and you also have the see trend button here, which pops up in a different window and shows you over time how people have been searching for these tags. So if I'm looking at needle felted, over time this looks like it's growing slightly, so that's really important for me to know. Okay, so I hope that was kind of interesting for you guys. Just a quick look at what EtsyRank is saying there. I think this is a really handy tool that they've come out with for us. I think that's actually really quite exciting what they've done there, and it's really well worth giving it a proper decent look and trying to really understand what's going on there. Okay, so this is me back with you. I'm now open. If you've got anything you want to chat about, then drop me a question here and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, hopefully. But what I want to do now is to start on our felting. So what I've got is this Aclaine fibre, or Aclaine, I don't know how you pronounce it, I'm rubbish at all these kind of things. But anyway, we've got the Aclaine fibre, and I want to make it into a little sculpture for you. I already, when I did the unboxing last week, I started out and I made this little ball. So this is just a dense little ball of felt, and I'm just wanting to make this a little bit bigger. I want to make a Pikachu, but we don't really have all that much fiber, so I'm trying to make a core first of all in this green color that I'm less likely to use, and then we'll build up from there. And while we're doing this, I just want to give a wee review over what we've been doing before. Like I say, if you've got any comments. Oh, here we go. We've got Linda. I'm glad that helped. Actually, I found that really interesting when I got the email. So I hope it helps you. It's really worth rooting about in the EtsyRank page there. They've got a lot of great information. Okay, so I'm just adding up a little more fleece here, and quick roundup of what we did last week. Basically, if you want to have a look back in my live streaming, we had the first look at this Aclaine. If anyone knows how to pronounce this, please give me a word. Please let me know. But yeah, we had a first look at this. I actually unboxed it because I just got it in the mail before the live stream, so that was really handy. Had a look at this and did a wee review and felted that first little bit of the ball. And then also on the Monday, my Etsy tips video, if you're interested in that, was on marketing versus spamming. How do you know the difference between getting all excited and wanting to post everything that you make onto Facebook straight away? How the difference between that could be useful marketing compared to just annoying your friends, getting yourself banned from groups and everything. And then on Wednesday, I had my most controversial review video where I reviewed the pipe cleaners I'd got from World of Wool. That was kind of a bit of fun because I since learnt that those tiny little pipe cleaners are actually what real actual pipe cleaners used to be. I didn't know that before. That was actually so interesting. But yes, that's what pipe cleaners were when they were a thing that was used to clean pipes rather than a child's crafting item. So basically, people who've been involved in these kind of things in the past, they totally knew, and that's what they expect. Whereas most people who've just been crafting and are used to what they get in craft stores seem to really expect a pipe cleaner to be the longer, more sort of fuzzy thing. So it's really worth knowing. Oh, hi Linda. Yes, this is an acrylic synthetic fiber. I just heard about it. I had to ship it in from China actually. It's all the rage in Japan and China, making it felts down quite firm, as you can see already. This is getting quite firm. It felts down quite firm, but what's supposed to be different about it, because it's not a wool, it actually holds its own shape if it gets wet, so people can use it to make like pot scrubbers and things. And there's been a few people mentioning that it might be possible to use as a beauty blender, so I thought that might be a bit of fun just to see how it works. So I'm just having a go at felting it, and then on Wednesday I'm going to attempt to put on some makeup with it which is really a bit of a worry because I'm not a makeup guru in any way, shape, or form. But I just want to see what it's like when it's wet. But it's actually felting together quite well because I've just been chatting here for 5 minutes, and it's felted down to a nice kind of egg shape. Yes, where was it? Oh yes, with my pipe cleaners. So I did that review on that. Oh yes, you're right. I'm getting the messages. Yeah, it could be really good in felted soaps. That's a good thought. I'll see if I can find any of it a little more reasonable. It wasn't totally expensive, but as you can see, there's not a whole lot. This was about £8 including shipping just for this wee bit. So maybe wouldn't want that just now, but as it becomes more popular, or if we can find a UK supplier, then that might be a really good idea for felted soaps. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That would be really cool. I never managed to get felted soaps to work very well, but I'll give that a go. That's actually really quite firmly felted already. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm trying to make Pikachu and he's yellow and I'm worried that some of the green will show through, I'm going to take some of this beige colour that I'm least likely to use, and I'm just going to cover that as well in the hope that we hide some of the green. Yeah, so on Thursday, my felting video was again of my dragon. We're getting right on with him. He's doing fantastic. And I did his tail. That was using pre-felt for the little vein, the skin flap between his tail, and just covering the whole of the tail, and he's really looking quite fantastic. And a sneak ahead to the week ahead is that actually I've covered just about the whole of his body and his wings. I haven't put the skin flaps in between the wings, but I've covered the whole of his body. And I've also got a little difference around his neck and his chest. I put a question up on Facebook what colour I should make him, and people suggested, oh, basically it was split. So I went with dark greens and purples and a bit of sparkle. So you'll get to see how that turns out as well. I think this is hiding the colour a little bit. You're still seeing a bit of green, so I'm glad I went with this first of all. Right, so the update of where we are today as well, obviously. Today I'm not going to be doing a separate Etsy video because we've just covered that Etsy keyword tool. So if you have just catching up with us now, just have a look back at the beginning, or get this on the catch up when it's uploaded, which will be as soon as the stream finishes. And we went over the Etsy keyword tool, and then on Wednesday, as I said, we're going to be doing this Aclaine fibre, a better review of it. We're going to review what this is like and give it a try as actually using it in wet, see if it makes any difference. And then Thursday, you'll get a look at my dragon, where he's up to just now. I am so procrastinating doing his face. Does anyone else like have trouble doing that? They leave the face to the last minute, or do you do the face first? I usually do the face first, so I get an idea if it's going to be good, but I'm leaving the face till last, so I'm worried because I know that's going to make or break the dragon, but I'm really hopeful for how he's going to turn out. Okay, I think that's kind of covered nicely in the beige, so we're going to come on with the yellow. I want to keep enough to make the rest of his features, so I'm going to try and cover it in as little of the yellow as I can while still getting coverage, because nobody wants a patchy Pikachu. This is a lovely vibrant yellow actually. They did have other kits with different colours, but I just chose these because I had no idea of what I wanted to make. So I just wanted as wide a range of colours as I could get. And actually, it's been pretty cool. We've got, try and get that in shot. There's a yellow, there's a purple, red, a pink, a white, and then there's black, brown, a lighter beige, a blue, and a very vivid green. So that's quite a cool selection of colours. I think there was more pastel colours as well, which was interesting too, and more natural colours. But there were several kits in the shop that I saw. I actually got this from the Etsy wholesale things. I can't remember what that's called, but the new thing that Etsy's just doing, is it Etsy Studio or Etsy Wholesale or something? But yes, that was my first order from them, and it was pretty good. And for coming all the way from China, it came in less than a week. I was really surprised how well it came. So far, I've been totally happy with that. I think this is beginning to cover quite well. Hello Caroline, how are you doing? It's nice to actually see people chatting here. Hopefully you can notice I've got things set up slightly differently. I'm using OBS now as a streaming software to get this video to work. So it is great fun that it is meaning that I'm able to work and see you all here, actually interact and see the chat going. That is totally different. So it does mean at any point, if you if you have shops, if you have Etsy shops and you want any help with your Etsy shops at any time, give me a yell and I'm able to actually go to them live on here and have a quick nosy and maybe help you with them at another date. If this kind of live stream thing is something that you're interested in. I have to say, I think this fibre, it doesn't felt as quickly as I thought it might, but it's still fairly quickly to a firmer shape. And for the amount of fibre I've used, it's not felted down as low as small as I thought it would. Oh, Caroline's fine. That's great. So good to see you here. Thank you for joining me. Have I ever used wool neps? I haven't actually. I've heard people talk about them and say that I should get them from like World of Wool and stuff. What exactly are they? This is something I should look into. Is this like a kind of core thing that I can use for the center, or is it some kind of texture thing? I am not sure what they are at all. I should order some and find out. This is really weird. When I'm making normal videos, I'll do this bit and I'll be like, yeah, we'll just fast forward that. So I'm sitting singing along to music or whatever else. But because this is live, we've got to just keep with it all the time. And actually, my cunning plan was I was going to be doing, I just saw some videos for some beautiful needle felting pom-pom dogs and cats and bears and things, and I wanted to have a try at them, but I've just ordered my pom-pom maker. And okay, here's where I'm either crazy or brave, but I thought I would have a go. I thought I would have a go at making my first pom-pom bear straight away, sort of live on air, which it could be a great genius idea or it could be a really, really scary idea. But let me know if that's something you would be interested in seeing. I will put a link to them when I get a chance. But there's this woman in Japan as well. They always seem to come out with the best things to start with, but she makes the most gorgeous dogs. Oh, here we go. Caroline got a bag of wool neps from World of Wool, but they won't needle felt. Oh dear. And Linda's, they're little baubles of wool, but they're hard to attach. Put a thin layer of wool on top and attach them through that. Ah, so it's a kind of texture thing. Yes, I think I've heard of something like that. There was something to do with a silk, I think. I can't remember what that was, but yes, some kind of texture packs that you can get. Were they for spinning, maybe, to put texture through the wool as you were spinning them? But yes, that, Linda, that's a great idea, that anything that doesn't properly felt, you can sort of sandwich it between fibres that do felt, and that gives you hopefully a little bit of grab that you can get things to felt. But yes, well, if the neps won't felt, then yeah. Uh, Caroline saying thought they would make great sheep fleeces. Ah, yes, so that kind of bobbly shape, that sounds really cool. Well, totally try Linda's idea of sandwiching them between a layer of wool. That might give you a lovely bobble. And let us know how you get on with it. Bobbles are a good techie wool word. Linda's trying the pom-pom thing. Um, Fab. Yeah, I'd love to see some of your pom-poms. I'm really nervous. I've not tried it, but it looks fun because, well, I remember making pom-poms as a kid, and then of course we've been doing needle felting, so I thought it might be fun to try the two, but I don't know if I'll be any good. So doing my first one live on air would just be a bit of a laugh or a total disaster. But I just like the ideas of these kind of felt along kind of things. So I'm just pinching off a wee bit just now to make Pikachu's ears. Oh, the neps in 2D pictures as pebbles. Yeah, that would be beautiful, like a beach scene or something. Yeah, I've seen some lovely 2D pictures of landscapes and things. That would be really cool. Right, so there we go. We've got we've got a project for you. Let's see how this works out. This sounds really cool. So I've totally, when you get this, I say totally too much, don't I? When you give this a try, let us know how it goes. Give us a look, because I really want to see how that goes. And I think I'm going to have to order some naps. Am I saying this wrong as well? But I think I'm going to have to order some and just see what it's like as well. Okay, I'm just making a pair of Pikachu's ears. So what's your latest project, guys, that you're working on? What have you been felting? I've got a ton of things on the go. I've actually got a load of bodies of dogs kicking about the place. um, and the dragon, and I actually just made my first for this year, my first Christmas dog. That's waiting to be photographed for the customer. Oh, the Neps is a 2D pic with it as dandelion seeds. That sounds lovely as well. Yeah, great idea. I'm loving this. Well, no, I'm not, because you're giving me ideas of other stuff that I've got to do. Right, so I'm pinching out a bit of black here for the top, because Pikachu has a bit of black on the top of his ears. Or I believe he has. I don't even have a picture here. I'm just winging this from memory. So fingers crossed. That's another plan in the future works, is I want to do some more of my geeky needle felted things, old game characters and like Pikachu and all his buddies and everything. Linda's like me, got a usual list of things. The pet portraits are brilliant. I've only started doing some 2D portraits. I just did what have I got? A cheetah, a tiger, and a snow leopard. They're all the pet portraits. Oh, and the zebras, yes. Um, so I haven't actually tried pet portraits with that yet. The people's work is beautiful. If any of you watching this haven't seen, have a Google for 2D needle felted pet portraits. There is some stunning work, and I can't believe it's made out of wool. It is utterly beautiful. Oh, Caroline's just sold her first ever piece. Oh, fantastic. That is great news. I remember my first sale many years ago, but you always remember your first sale. That's fantastic. And the same lady wants some more work from you, a border terrier, and other people wanting piglets. Oh, Caroline, that's great news. I know totally just the start of your journey and people wanting more work already. So that is fabulous. And Linda is Feltology and Feltology After Dark. I am totally going to have a look once I've finished felting here, and everybody else have a wee look. Go out and check Linda's page. And Caroline, do you have social media or an Etsy shop or anything? I would love to see your work. Oh, chuffed and humbled. Yes, I totally know what you mean. To start with, it is so amazing that something felting is great fun to do and it's a lovely hobby, and then when people start saying they want your work, I think it is so lovely. I know I had that, and I remember just a few years ago I started doing just actually felt tip pen drawings of people's pets, and I was just messing around. And I remember the first person messaged me and said she wanted me to make a drawing of her pet, and it's so humbling. It's like this is just a sketch I'm doing. This is just a little cartoon. Why would people want these? But it's so nice when people do. They support you. They like what you're doing. I can't remember if Pikachu has big or little ears. I've planned this out well. Oh, Caroline's posted up my piglet picture on my Facebook. Fantastic. I will go and look at that as soon as we're done here as well. Totally excited to see what you guys are making. I do love seeing other people's work. Needle felting is so great in that we all start with the same raw materials and we come away with something completely different, which is great. There's people who can do really realistic and beautiful things. Some are whimsical and so cute, cartoony. There's so many different styles. And for years when I started, I just really was upset that I couldn't make my work realistic. Like some people just, it just looks like the real animal, and that really upset me for ages. But then over time I've realized that I have my style, everyone else has their own style. Some people like what I make, some people don't like what I make. Alright, let's bung on these ears. Obviously I would normally felt things down far more firmly, and I will be going over this once I'm done here, but there's a limit to how interesting I can make just sitting felting things like this. And I'm thinking of the shape to make it a beauty blender rather than exactly how I would make Pikachu if I was doing him properly. I will come back actually one day and make a better Pikachu while I'm actually looking at the picture and not just imagining it in my head. But that just goes to show that this stuff does felt fairly quickly if I've got a relatively solid shape in just this amount of time. Linda tried to make things real at first and then realised that, like me, she can't make anything she can make anything any shape it wants to be, and it's my creation. That's it, exactly. Nobody is going to make anything exactly like what you make it. Each one is individual, and even see if we make the same piece again, it's never exactly the same, which is so cool. Like, everyone is an individual work of art. Okay, that is so badly attached, but we'll do that. And I just want a little nose for him. So just a little ball. Oh, sorry, I'm going off camera again. I'm terrible for that. So do you guys felt when you're felting, do you use a stabbing cushion, or are you in the air like me? I've had a lot of comments about my dangerous style of felting, but I can't get the hang of using a stabbing cushion, so I'm a rebel. I'm in the air. And he tends to have little red circles for cheeks, so I'm just going to pop them on. You can tell I'm having to concentrate on this bit now and I can't just speak. They're not even the same size. So much pressure doing this live. Caroline's found Feltology. Fab. If you want to stick a link up to anything, if you link up on my Facebook page, then that way I can find it easier. See the pressure of doing this, doing this actually live. I'm sure, like you all, that we're about to do it dead easy, just sitting myself in front of the telly. But actually doing it with you guys watching is so much more pressure. Right, Pikachu's little black tip to his nose. But I think we're nearly there. And eyes. Actually, he tends to be happy, so I'm going to do little, like his eyes are all squinted up just by rolling a little piece. This is probably going to be way too big. Linda's telling me to watch my fingers. Yep, I get better and better at not stabbing myself as time goes on. But even though I do stab myself quite a lot, actually, to be honest, but I just hold the needle kind of really loosely, so if it hits my fingers, I don't actually stab in. Oh, thank you, Caroline, saying she posted my needle felting curls tutorial in the Facebook pages. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Um, the all the people selling locks probably don't think it's a good tutorial. But I think there's still a market for all the locks, and there's some beautiful things out there. But it can be so difficult to find the decent locks. You know, I've bought so many that were, let's just say, frankly terrible. So that's what's going to harm the people who sell the good stuff. And I know there must be good stuff out there, but I had it was actually a couple of years ago. There was a gallery. I was lucky enough to have my work in this gallery, and they wanted an exhibition of cows and sheep and things. So I was wanting to make lots of the little curly Villay's black nose sheep. I can't remember totally how you pronounce that. But they wanted a load of those, and I was trying a rush order to try and get hold of a load of locks, and when they came in, they were more than half the bag wasn't usable. So I had to basically find a way quickly to get some locks. So that was where I came up with the idea. I just thought, I'll see what happens if I do this, and I did it, and it's been working fine. And I think I've been making locks like that for about a year, and they've been lasting, because that was obviously the main concern. If I make this and do things, is it going to fall apart within seconds? But nope, they last. I wish it was so easy to curl my hair. Okay, I don't know if this looks like Pikachu or a bit of a crazy rabbit, but I think a bit of a crazy rabbit's more more like it. But yeah, it's gutting when you expect lovely pearls and you get a bag of mucky fluff. And you're right, Carolyn, they really can be quite expensive, and yes, you see in the picture, and sometimes I've ordered them and they are absolutely beautiful curls and it's really stunning. And sometimes what's supposed to be white, yeah, just totally isn't a beautiful white. It's a bit of a mucky, disgusting colour. And yeah, I've got bag loads. My felting supplies are just off to the left here, so if you see me looking off, I'm not being rude. I've got bag loads of locks, curls, and I couldn't even sell them on. The, I couldn't get my money back off them because it just wouldn't be right to try and sell them to people. But anyway, I learnt. And it's great because I've got some lovely coloured fibres, and it means I can make the curls in the exact colour, in the exact same colour, instead of people having to try and dye them or stuff. So it's totally handy like that. You'll see on Thursday with my dragon, I've got some awesome sort of purples and blues and greens and sparkle type mixed wool, and I'm able to make curls in that in just the most gorgeous colours. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Right, anyway, that's probably about some of my worst work I've ever done, but there's a wee Pikachu. I'm going to tidy him up and actually get some pictures out and have a look at what Pikachu looks like. But I think 50 minutes of one of my bigger live streams, I think that's plenty time. Linda, good idea there from Linda, saying she cuts off the most matted bits from the curls and uses it as core wool. That's a good idea, and I will actually do that to use up my other core wool. But yeah, thank you guys for being with me. That was actually really enjoyable. It's the first time I've had interaction and the pressure of live felting. Indeed, yes. It looks like a 4-year-old's made it, but anyway, it wasn't a tutorial. I was just messing about and talking to you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. That was actually great fun. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, it is so much more pressure doing all this live, but thank you so much for joining, and I will be doing another live stream next Monday probably. I'll keep an eye out on my Facebook page, but thanks for joining me, and I'll speak to you guys later. And I'm off to check out your pages and everything and your work.